Joel in Alabama wants to talk about how reincarnation is compatible with materialism. Hey, Joel, welcome. You might want to start by telling us exactly
Hello.
what you mean by reincarnation, because without a definition, this could get really hairy.
Okay, I will. Can I mention my blog on here?
I guess. I mean, it'd be nice if you showed an interest in an actual discussion before you started showing an interest in self-promotion, but I can't stop you from saying stuff.
Okay, it's Susurrus Waking. That's Susurrus Waking. Okay, I define reincarnation as the recurrence of most basic awareness. And so, for instance...
Wait, one more time?
Recurrence of most basic awareness.
Of most basic awareness. Okay.
Yes. So, for instance, if I say... It occurs to me I should wash my car. It occurs to what? It occurs to my most basic awareness. So most basic awareness is the awareness to which thoughts and sensations occur. That begins, my hypothesis is it begins when I'm an infant or an infant in the womb, and that will begin to exist in a baby after my death. And so even if I'm annihilated, that most basic awareness will begin to exist in another baby after my death. And since I was that awareness, I will be that awareness again.
Okay, so first of all, you're talking about a hypothesis. I have zero interest in your hypothesis because it's just bald-ass speculation. There's no evidence for it. But when you define most basic awareness, there's a difference between, would you agree that there's a difference between your most basic awareness and my most basic awareness?
Yes, but I think it occurred. Yes, but I'm not.
It's a yes or no question.
So don't have to be.
It's a yes or no question, not a yes but.
There could be. There could
yes.
be. I don't know.
Oh, holy shit. Joel, either you agree with me that your most basic awareness and my most basic awareness are different, or you don't agree with me.
I don't know.
Do you think that my most basic awareness and your most basic awareness are the same?
Yes.
Well, you're wrong. They're not. You don't have my awareness and I don't have yours. I have no idea what it's like to be you, to experience your thoughts at all. I'm experiencing my own thoughts. And the fact that you and I are in disagreement right now proves the point.
Well, do you believe when I say it occurs to me I should wash my car,
it did not occur to me that I should wash my car, and it did not occur to me that you should wash your car, which demonstrates conclusively that your most basic awareness and my most basic awareness are not the same.
It's the same kind of mechanism.
I don't give a shit if it's the same kind of mechanism. That's like saying I have thoughts and you have thoughts. If you're going to argue for reincarnation, they need to be that your thoughts are my thoughts. That's not reincarnation. That's a separate... 25 individual incarnations is not reincarnation. Reincarnation is a new incarnation of the same awareness.
Yeah, you're talking about something that's being passed down, and you're saying the awareness, and then you're adding the caveat that it's compatible with materialism. Okay, well, if it's compatible with materialism, let's try to work this out from a materialistic worldview in the sense of that we're gonna be deriving novel future predictions for things that we do. So how do you have any basis of a prediction at which you could confirm this? Because like Matt said, it seems just to be some assertion based off the fact that we have similar biological functions, which is not enough.
Well, okay, let me say this. I'm not the same thing I was 10 years ago, so I don't have to do the same thing in the next life I was in this life. So it doesn't have to be a recurrence of the same thing.
It's not reincarnation. The fact that one person exists and then when they cease to exist, a different person exists, that is not reincarnation. Reincarnation requires a new incarnation of the previous agent.
It has, yes. Okay. Well, let's assume that here's some way we can do this.
Okay.
Let's say there are different types of most basic awareness.
I don't know what that means.
I reincarnate.
I don't know what that means, and I don't know how it proves your case. You've already debunked your own case.
Do you believe that you are unique?
Yes.
You're completely unique.
I'm as unique as I can imagine. I don't know of anything that is identical to me, and that would violate the law of identity for there to be two things that were identical that are also independent. So yes, I am unique, if for no other reason than I am the only agent occupying this particular spatial location.
Okay. Like I said, well, if I die, then I'm annihilated, and my most basic awareness can recur in another baby.
No,
Okay.
sir. You don't just get, first of all, if you die, we don't necessarily know whether or not you're annihilated. But even if you are annihilated, you don't get to just assert that your most basic awareness can occur in another baby. That's the whole thing that we're trying to demonstrate. You do not just get to claim it's possible and then ride that like a wild fucking dragon. You don't. You have to demonstrate it.
Yeah. What stops me from saying something similar with maybe a few derivations and just change a little bit? What stops me from doing that? Because I use the exact same epistemic justification, which is none. And we can't tell the difference between both of our claims. So what is being passed down, and what's the mechanism that you use to, because otherwise we're not talking about reincarnation. You're going to have to give some reason, something in the future to tell that that's what that is. Do you have a model? Do you have anything?
Well, there could be brain scans.
You keep saying there could be. Do you have it? Do you actually have something? I don't care about the could be's and the hypotheses. I care about what you actually have.
I have looked on the internet, and it shows that different people experience emotions in different ways, but there are different types of ways of experiencing emotions.
I've looked on the internet too, and there are people who think the earth is flat and all kinds of stuff. So let's start with your most basic awareness. First of all, demonstrate that what you're calling your most basic awareness could possibly exist outside of your specific brain.
Well, for the same reason it exists inside my brain now.
No, sir.
It simply does.
No, sir, you're not listening. Demonstrate that it is possible for it to exist outside of your brain.
Oh, it can't exist outside of my brain, but it can exist.
Then you just admitted that your notion of reincarnation is not possible.
No, I didn't. Because
yes, you absolutely did, because you just said that your most basic awareness cannot exist outside of your unique brain, which means it can exist in no other brain, and that refutes your position.
The same song. You think the same song can play on two different radios?
Okay, Joel, you're not listening, and so now I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye. I was going to let you keep talking to JMike, but if you're just going to give up like that, cool.
Well, yeah, I think that you kind of showed
there's other callers.
They showed the fault in that. But there's no point to repeat.
Yeah. Do you think the same song can play on different radios? Yes, I do.
Because they're physically different things.
Yeah. It's not technically the same song. It's two different radios playing the same transmission, but it's different sound waves. The two different speakers, or however many different speakers you have, are vibrating different air molecules, and they're being heard by different ears. But once you admit, or first of all, we don't even know whatever it is that he's calling his most basic awareness. I don't know whether or not it can only exist in his unique brain or not, and neither does he. But he's simultaneously claiming that it can't exist in another brain, and that it must, in order for his argument about reincarnation to be.
My thing on it was that the caveat of materialism, because then at that point you're basically saying, well, we can derive predictions on this. We can create a model. Okay, yeah. Do that, then call back. Otherwise, it's kind of like what you said on the show. I think Talk Heathen with me is like we can hit the bong and talk about this type of stuff all day, and that's great. Yeah. But I'm kind of past that.
The whole point of the show is to get people talking about what they believe and why, and if they have a good reason, cool, address it. And if they don't have a good reason, then we point that out. And so Joel's reason for believing in reincarnation is apparently about a monumental, gross conceptual error about his own most basic awareness and what it can and can't do, to the point where he's even contradicted himself.